Welcome back to the channel. My name's Keegan Lanier, and today what we're talking about is Elegant Themes' new addition to the Divi theme, their new global color system. So jumping into the back end, you can see here, I've got a little tutorial site, a little staging area set up, and I always like to run through the versions that we're using. So as of the time of the recording, we've got WordPress version 5.6.1. You can see down in the bottom right hand corner. And if we go under themes, you're going to see the version of Divi we're running is 4.9. This is the release that just added in the global color system, and I'll walk you through a little bit of the stage. This is what we've set, right? So if we go into the front end, we've added a logo to the page that was done in the theme options, and we've imported some of Divi's layouts. This is the brokerage layout pack, and we've done the home page, we've done the blog as well, and there's no posts on here, so it's a bunch of just hello worlds, and we've done the contact page, and that's really it. The only difference is we made a menu with those 3 pages, and we remove some of the widgets that are in the footer of WordPress by default. Other than that, this is a stock version of WordPress as it gets. And what we want to show you today is the global color system that they just implemented and how you can adjust things across your whole site pretty easily. So under Divi themes, I want to change this main red to a blue that I use for the Keegan Lanier Media brand. It's 286 EFA. That's the same color that's going to be in the logo. And we're just going to save this into our normal color picker. And then we're going to go into the front end of the website. And what we're going to do here is try and replace these calls to actions, the colors here, the text. Everywhere you see it, now this is very MKBHD. For any of you in the tech space, if you've ever seen MKBHD's channel, Marquez's logo looks very similar to that. But here again, what we're going to do is replace this with that light blue that's in the logo. And to do that, we just need to jump into the visual builder. And from here, we're going to go into the modules and actually just change the colors. We'll hover over this button, and we're going to go under the design tab and then to the button section, and you're going to see the color here. So this is the normal state, and it turns black when you hover over it. So instead of this red, I want it to be the blue color. But the first thing we need to do, or first thing that you'll want to notice, is that right down here at the bottom, we've got this saved, recent, and global section. The global is where it's at. So we've got this purple color that was in a different pack that's set here, but what we want to do is under saved, right click on this, and this is the color we're going to use, and we're going to make this a global color. So as soon as we do that, you can go under the global tab, and you're going to see, well, I'm not sure why I did it 3 times, but the global color is there. So from here, we're going to set this color as the color for this button. And then we're going to have to do a few other things, right? So here, I want to come under this text module, go under design again, and then heading text, and this is going to be an H3 tag. What we're going to do is find that other instance of this color, and we're going to right click on it. When you do that, we're going to find and replace. And that's going to open up what makes things really powerful. So we're looking for this color throughout this entire page, but we're going to replace all found values within every type, not just limited to H3s. And what we're going to do is pick our global section here and check this second color. So what's going to happen is this color, everywhere you see it throughout the page, with the exception of probably some of the images, it's going to be replaced with this blue. And so when we hit replace, it's going to do its thing in the back end, and you can slide down here and see we've got blue, blue. I don't think this is in the footer. I'm not sure why that color, maybe it doesn't match exactly. Let's see, this is a heading 3. You can come over to the heading 3, and we can do the same thing here. Find and replace, go to global, select the blue, replace, and it's going to replace those as well. So now outside of the images here and the quote image here, everywhere else that we had that color is now going to be a blue. So even here where the hover was going to turn into it, now that color is blue. One other thing we can do here is go under this background, and this is going to be a version of that blue. You can say the global and then drop the opacity down like they had before, and it fits in with the style. So we can go to 13, you know, whatever you think looks really nice. I like 15, I think that looks pretty good. We'll hit yes. Perfect. So now the only difference is going to be in these images, and that's not a big deal. We can leave that. I kind of like it, but we've got all the rest of these things. This is where it's a perfect example of what you've got to be careful with, right? So we switched this background to the global color, and we dropped the opacity, which we cannot do. We've got to keep this normal. We got to go back to save in this case, change the color, and drop this one down to where it's just this one instance, because what we did before was change the global color, which is not what we're trying to do. See, now that we've got everything back, these are not faded out like they were before, and that's perfect. So we can save this by hitting, you know, Control or Command, depending on if you're on Mac or Windows, and hold S, and that will save it. We can exit here, then we'll go into the next page and do the exact same thing. And I'm going to speed this part up between the blog and the contact pages. I don't need to bore you with the same things. So we've gone through, we've updated on all the subsequent pages. So we've got our blue on the blog and also on the contact page. So you see it here. That one doesn't work out such the best, but you can always change that purple color. You see it all throughout the site now. That blue that we made looks good, quick, it's super easy even here. Just looks good. Quick change. So from here, really the only thing left to do would be update our header. And you know me, I like to use the visual builder. What we're going to do here is go under the theme builder and build our own global header. That way we can use the global color. It'll be uniform across the whole site, and yeah, it'll just look really good, and we'll get the power of the visual builder, which is exactly what we want here. So under logo, we're going to use the site logo. We've got our menu here, our logo. We're going to shrink down a little bit. Sizing. We'll shrink that one down, and then we'll go to menu text. The active color, we'll make it that blue. Menu text color, we're going to change. And we need to do the global color here. Do that one. Actually need to change this one to the global color here as well. And we can play with the font all we want. You know, we can go semi-bold, we can go full bold. Doesn't look too bad. All right. So we've got this, and we just need to change the spacing a little bit. So we're gonna go shrink that in for the section, and now we've got to also shrink in the spacing here on the row itself. So that gives us a little bit of space. We've got a full width. We can save this. One other thing we do want to change while we're still in here though is the icons. The hamburger menu, we want to make this global as well. And you can do whatever you need to do if you want to do the search icon and or the shopping cart for WooCommerce. We're going to save this one more time, and we're going to build a global footer. And we're going to do something very, very simple, basically just like what exists already. We'll do a section, we'll do a row, we'll do text. And this is a quick little trick. It's a bonus for this episode. If you want to have a dynamic year inside of Divi, one thing you can do is go to current date, and before you can put copyright you can put the C, copyright, and then we're going to have a custom, and I think it's maybe YY. can never remember what this is. Maybe it's 4Ys. We'll put copyright, that'll be the year. And we'll put the name of the business. And let's see how this shapes out. So that's definitely not what we want it to look like. So I have to change this. So there we go. So just capital Y, and it puts it the current year 2021. And you can style this however you want. You know, we can make it, we can go black, we can do it semi-bold, drop it down just a little bit, we can make it centered, and then we can go to town on the spacing once more, just like we did with the header. Make that no spacing for the section, and then we can play around with the spacing here. There we go. So now we'll have something that looks about like this. It'll be all white, and we can actually change that as well. So if we wanted to go with that background color very similar to that section we did earlier, you can shrink that down. And this is just a very basic, quick down and dirty version of what we can do. We'll save that, exit, and make sure to save your changes for the theme builder. And then we can jump back into the front end, and you're gonna see the site pretty much complete. So we've got this, we've got the home, everything works here as we hover over it. The blues are here, that blue section is here as well. We got the blue button, our footer is here, the header's in place. As we shrink the site down, you'll be able to see here basic styling, everything's pretty much in place. And that's really the power of that global system, because let's say we decide we want to change that blue, we're going to rebrand, and the blue is no longer what we're going to be using. Let's say we switch it out for this this orange color. I'm going to copy this color over, and we can go under here and we can find anywhere where we have this blue, and what we'll do is go under button once again, go under design, we're going to find our blue, we'll go to global. And since we have this one selected, we can just click here, change it. When we change it here, this selected global color is going to change everywhere. So now we've got this orange. You can see we've got the orange across here and across here. And if we save this page, here's where the really cool thing starts to happen. We've saved it. When we exit, you see our global header's already changed because we had selected that global blue. So now when we hover over it, we've got this orange color. When we hover over this button, it should be that orange. Come over here, it's orange, then it goes to black, and now we've got orange all the way across. So this is awesome, right? I mean, you can see the power of this, and it can work in anything: text, buttons, blurbs, anything, borders, whatever it is, drop shadows as well. You can set these things globally and not have to worry about them. Because if you go through a rebrand and we change the logo, it's very, very easy to update your site. And I'll show you just one final quick example. We're actually in the process of rebranding King Linear Media, or at least developing the brand. And I'll show you a quick look at what that logo looks like. All right, so we'll set this one in place. And we'll jump back up to the front. And it's going to look silly because the top is gray and whatever, but we could make this fit pretty quickly if we go under the builder, global header, and then update the background color of this header. It would change the look of the website pretty much instantly. So we can go here and just pick a color. Could leave it white, update that. There's a lot of options. You could go blue, and then you just have to remove the background color on this menu, and everything fades in. Now that's not a great color to use here, but you kind of get the idea. You know, we could go with something like this, and then just update the menu text color So active could still be that orange, menu text could be white. Save it, exit, and then go back into the front end, and you'll see pretty much like that. I mean, you've got a new site, you got the new logo here, the colors work like this, and everything is global. So one single change affects the entire site now. So that's one thing you want to do whenever you're building your website, to set these globals and build around these global sets from the very, very beginning. And that way, if a client says, hey, I want to change this image, or I want to change this color just a slight bit, you know, it doesn't matter. If it's one change, you would have historically had to go back and change it in every single place. This saves you time. So we talked about this at length, just real quick, high level on our podcast. If you haven't checked out Addicted to WordPress, I'll leave the link in the show notes below. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you love these kind of tutorials. And if you're not yet using Divi, I'm going to leave that link below as well. Divi is ridiculously awesome, very well built. It's a big theme that does a lot. So you need really good hosting to deliver a great site using Divi. And if you need any resources, we've got some links over on our website. We'll link, you can get to our website in the channel header. So go check it out, see some of the resources. There's tons of different things beyond just hosting, but it's a lot of great resources for you. So thank you again for watching this video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you're not yet and you love what we're doing here, and we'll see you in the next video.